such a silly ass. Just like a donkey braying, I don't think she'll be staying. With the fun, la 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 la, with the fun, la la la. Ronnies moving show.
And tonight, I'm going to do a little thing called Doctrine of Effects. What am I doing? As I said, my name's Chris Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Live. I've already said that. Okay, let's move right along. What's happening is that last week, I love my continuity, as you know, I did a thing about drumming and of different parts of the world. The drummers of Burundi. I did Kodo, which is the Japanese taiko group, very famous. And then I did Korean drumming and folk music from a wonderful band that I first saw at Womadelaide Adelaide many years ago called Dulsori. Wonderful. And that's all very drumming, drum, drum, drum. And of course it's going to stay that way. However, did you notice I had voices? And with my patches, when I get a little bit high, when I've sorted my patches out here, I have the lovely ladies part of the choir. But when I go a bit lower, the men. Now, one of the things about what we do as drummers is we play a note, and that's the end of it. Bonk. There it is. Bonk. And we're done. So when we need to play longer notes, like to do, we have to do a roll, and therein lays the work and the practice. I hope you're all practicing. And when I'm doing little things like that, that's very much double stroke roll. And when you're doing things like marching bands, Anzac Days, all that, Chop City, there you go. So what you have is a series of, as soon as you say the word, I'm going to join a metal band, you know what you're in for. You're in for double kick, you're in for crash bang wallop. If you're going to join a marching band, you're in for snare drum chops, that kind of thing. If you're going to do world music, or if you're going to do classical music, get to know your mallets and inside sticks and outside sticks, which I've done a lot. So what I'm going to do now is talk about this classical thing that I learnt when I was doing all my theory, called the Doctrine of Effects, and I'm going there now. Hang on one second. There we are. The Doctrine of Affectations. Hello, I'll be right with you. The Doctrine of the Affectations, also known as the get your tongue in, Chris. I'll start again. The Doctrine of, oh boy. The Doctrine of the Affectations. The Doctrine of the Affectations, also known as the Doctrine of Effects. That's how I learnt it. Doctrine of the Passions. Theory of the effects, or by the German term Affekten hier, after the German affect, plural affecte. Why do I need to listen to Rammstein now? Anyway, there you go. Was a theory in the aesthetics of painting, music, and theatre, widely used in the Baroque era. We're currently in the Baroque era. No one's getting paid. 1600 to 1750. Literary theorists of that age, by contrast, rarely discussed the details of what was called pathetic composition. Okay, critic. Taking it for granted that a poet should be required to wake the soul by tender strokes of art. Hello, art. The doctrine was derived from ancient theories of rhetoric and oratory. Some pieces or movements of music express one effect throughout. However, a skillful composer like Johann Sebastian BARK, he's in his bed at the moment, could express different effects within a movement. Okay. Now, that's a little bit of a mouthful there. And what happens is that it's a doctrine of affectations, and in music, a doctrine of sounds. Now, if we were to think about sounds, you have happy sounds, sad sounds. If I did this, you've got thunder happening, that kind of thing. So that creates a mood, doesn't it? That kind of thing. And if I take that out, bring the ladies in, the choir, air up, there it is. But all of a sudden, the heavens open, that kind of thing. And if I go here, that's straight off my Halloween soundboard. So I might as well do some evil laughter. There you go. So there's 3 moods right there. So what goes on is when we're doing the doctrine of effects, we can also do that with music. Now, think about the sounds. Okay, now at the moment, I'm going to change things up a little bit here too. Now, what I've got at the moment is the Mixolydian mode. I'm going to go to that. I'm just going to change it up. And there's the Mixolydian mode. Now, the Mixolydian, when we're talking about scales in the most basic of ways, a major scale is happy, a minor scale is sad. And when you're talking about the natural minor scale, what it is built from the 6th step of the home major scale. When we start to go modal, the major scale is the Ionian mode in Greek. There it is. And then the 6th step is the Aeolian. Now just think Stairway to Heaven. That's the Aeolian mode, natural minor, A natural minor. Now what goes on, when you start doing different things with each step of the major scale, you get different sounds from the scales, and or from the modes, I should say. So I've done this a lot before, but I'll quickly go over it. You've got 7 main modes, and it's very important to know the step. Whenever I see it being taught like, oh, this is the Mixolydian mode, and here's all the fingering for it, I die a little inside because there doesn't seem to be any relation back to the home key. You know, that kind of biz. So what happens is you've got your normal major scale, which is happy, you know, that kind of thing, the first step. The Dorian mode is the 2nd step. So think of, if you're doing the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, the D Dorian from the 2nd step, you're doing the C major scale, but from D to D. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. There you go. A lot of Celtic music is in Dorian mode, and Juan Carlos Santana has been known to use the Dorian mode a fair bit. So if you're looking for sounds, what kind of sound do I want for this? You start delving into these kinds of things. The 3rd step is the Phrygian mode. That gives you a Spanish sound. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. That kind of thing. I'll put it all up here later. And then you've got the Lydian. That's got a sharp 4 in it. That gives you the dreamy sound. Mixolydian makes you Celtic, makes it sound Irish, which I'm about to do here. And then the Aeolian, the aforementioned, Stairway to Heaven, natural minor. And then you have the Locrian, which is the 7th step. That's the diminished side and makes it all dark. Metal bands love the Locrian mode. Metallica likes their Locrian mode. But when we're doing things like this, I've got the Mixolydian mode. This is, in actual fact, I've got an E Mixolydian. Now I'm going to go to some various sounds. Sorry if I've got my back to you there, but I'm just going to go to orchestral. I'm going to go Celtic harp, actually. Now when I play it, boom, boom, there you go. Now when we're dealing with the doctrine of effects, I'm making it sound very Irish jig style. There you go, with a Celtic harp. Now, what would happen if I did something a little bit different, you see? So, what would go on if I did something like the singers? These are actually South African singers. Bit of a different mood, isn't it? That kind of thing. Doctrine of Effects. And if I kept on going, how about if I did this one? Ooh. Root note C. Go down to D, flat 7 now. Very different moods. Doctrine of Affectations. A man's guts to... Oh, sorry, I've done that one. Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry. There it is. Now, the very famous philosopher... sorry, I'm bending the language. Philosopher, don't do it. Don't do the comedy routine, Chris. René Descartes held that there were 6 basic effects which can be combined into numerous intermediate forms. Ooh! Number 1, admiration. 2, amour, love. Haine, du hast mich, hatred. Oof, getting a bit full on. Desire, hello. Joy, tristesse, sorrow. And there you go. Another authority also mentions sadness, anger, and jealousy. These were attributed to the physiological effects of humours. Lorenzo Giacomini, 1552 to 1598, in his Origine et Discourse, defined an affectation as a spiritual movement or operation of the mind in which it is attracted or repelled by an object it has come to know as a result of the imbalance in the animal spirits and vapours that flow continually throughout the body. Descartes also proposed that the affectations were reliant upon the humours. That's a bit of a medieval thing. The humours. Are you in good humour? Are you in bad humour? Are you that kind of thing. Contemporary beliefs were that the humour's consistency or location could be affected by external factors. This allowed for an expectation of contemporary art to have an objective physical effect on its consumer. Ooh. Oh, who swallowed a dictionary there? There you go. Oh, dramatic. And that's the Mixolydian, you see, that kind of thing. Now, I've done plenty of shows doing the modes. It's not a modal show, it's a Doctrine of Affectations show. Now, at this stage, I should be bringing in ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, and release. If you're doing a course in sound, you would know these terms. Attack is how fast. I mean, when you dealing with the snare drum, if I take them out, take the strings out, and it falls off a cliff, if you know what I mean. There you go. And when I'm hitting a cymbal, you see, like that. So I'm killing the decay by choking the cymbal, you see. Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum. So on it goes, like that. Do you see? So there's the decay, the natural decay of things. I was doing the cymbal magnets the other day, so I can do that again if you like. And what happens with these kinds of things, you just get the cymbal magnets, just fridge magnets, come on. There you go. And then if you hit the thing, there you go. Take them out. Oi! Hit it again. Rings a lot longer. You see? That's what goes on. So you get all these different things, you see. So if I put them up there and I hit it, doink, there you go. And that may come in handy at some point. Doink, there it is. Now what happens then is that you have different things, like these little bell cymbals up here. Long decay. They work well together, so I like them. Hello, lads. There you go. Now what happens is there's that, and then there's, once you finish it off, there's the after tone. So if you just sort of, maybe if I hit the bass drum down here, you can hear the air, like that, you see? Doctrine of Affectations, ADSR. Now, if I was to change things, and this is the difference between when you're orchestrating things for a band, like orchestrating, orchestra, okay, doing orchestration. I did a couple of years of orchestration. I've got the book still over there by Walter Piston. There you go. Okay, and what goes on is that with the you start to work out what kind of an effect you want from your melody when you play it in a certain way or a certain instrument plays it. So there's obviously going to be a difference if you're going to play a melody with a flute as distinct from a distorted guitar, a la Jimi Hendrix. It's going to come out different, you see, and it's going to have a different mood, and that's what I'm getting at. Now, for us drummers, that's why we have different things we hit drums with. You see, I was using the mallets. I've got my multi-sticks here, that kind of thing. And of course, as I said just last week, you know, if you're just using the mallet and you take away the attack, ADSR again. Flip. Different mood, you see. You could combine them. There you go. You can do different things. Get it? Got it? And what happens here? I was doing that last week. Hi-hat, you can chick it, you can splash it, you can do all sorts of things with it. Very versatile piece of equipment for your drum set. I don't know why I'm talking like that. So what goes on now, moving right along and changing things up a little bit, if I did something like the orchestral harp patch, which I quite like, and I turn it on, and then I do something like the whole tone scale, take that. Every time I do this one, I start thinking of the sea. got all its moods. Claude Debussy was fantastic with his whole tone scales, make this really otherworldly, ethereal effect. Nice, kind of a blues bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I'm combining things because I was doing the double stroke rolls that you would need for your marching band. I throw them over to mallets. I go even softer mallets. I call that waves. Now, we're usually practicing that just on the good old practice pad, you see. Goes, you see? Oh, there you are. Now I better start to get a bit of a wriggle on here. So if I'm going to go back to the thunderstorm here, patch. Ooh! And then do something with this. I could put a little bit of more reverb. Sudden, you know, you got the start to some kind of seafaring film or something like that. Now, when I start doing things like that, and then I might do exactly the same patch, whole tone, and go to what have we got? If I go to the this is a little Bansuri flute that Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull seems to be partial to. And if I start to do this... Oh, come on now. Come on now. Technology. Thank you. Now, it's the same thing. Now, because the patch, it's in a higher register, you can hear the treble at the high end, and then I'm triggering off from the drums, but the drums are the more low end. So what happens is you can have themes throughout, a recurring theme in a movie. And then put the theme through its paces. And next thing you know, you've got this whole little soundtrack. Now I'm doing very similar things. I've got the same patch. It's a whole tone. And it makes it sound very, floaty, you know that? Dream sequence, things like that. Still in 12/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Frankenstein.
Werewolf.
Of course.
Werewolf? There. What? Werewolf.
All right. Oh, I got to get a wriggle on. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I'm talking about lots of different things in the sense, all from a drum kit. I'm talking about the Doctrine of Affectations. And you can go back to Johann Sebastian BARK, and there you go. And from that time, from the Baroque period, and then all of a sudden, if you're watching this show and you play guitar, you might be playing a certain song with one effects pedal, like a chorus. Try it with something else. Try it with a flanger. You can play something using sticks now. Sorry, mallets, I should say. Now I'm using sticks. Ooh! And I'll do the same thing. Whoosh! Very different. And that's something that I wanted to show you tonight. A little treatise on the doctrine of affectations. Ooh! Oh! And ladies, I didn't get to do too much with the ladies today. So anyway, my name is Chris Quinlan. This is Melbourne Musos Live. Tonight is all Doctrine of Affectations, Doctrine of Effects. Oh, something I love doing. There you go. Oh, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you for watching. And I shall see you on the flip side. Oh! Now for a nice glass of... Oh!
Werewolf.
Hey!
Werewolf?
Oh!
There. What?
Hey!
Werewolf.